Hi, welcome to SHS Today. I'm Neil Ray.
And I'm Bree Paquette, and this week we have a lot in store for you guys. First, we're going to be taking a look at what the purpose of a yearbook is.
No one really thinks about the yearbook until they see the final product at the end of the year. But there are a few people who think about the yearbook all the time.
You can find something that happened, whether a sporting team has some kind of a special ritual or some kind of traditions. You're never going to see that ever again unless you buy a yearbook. It takes a lot of persistence and editing and starting over and over and over and doing a page probably 15 to 20 times to get it absolutely perfect.
I joined Yearbook because I've always had an interest in computers and like working with layout and photography, and I don't know, Miss Wilmarth made me.
Well, I joined as a freshman, and it was such a great opportunity to learn more about computers especially, but to be able to take photos and work with a team that is always changing and improving and creating something really special that the whole school gets to enjoy.
Right now, the base cost is $60. The yearbook pays about $65 a piece to the publisher, so that's why the price goes up, and it goes up October 1st only by $5. After that, it goes up a little bit higher because some people don't actually order their yearbook, and we have to purchase extras so that we have them available for everybody that wants them at the end. We also sell advertising to local businesses, and it's very reasonable. If you know anybody that wants to buy an ad, just get in touch with us.
What a great concept.
I couldn't agree more. This Tuesday, SHS held auditions for the fall play, Clue.
This week, our crew went behind the scenes and talked to the people who run the show.
To be in tech, to me, means... to be in tech, to me, means being part of a beautiful art form, and understanding and having an appreciation for the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, and not just the people who are in the spotlight, but for the guy running the spotlight, you know? My favorite thing about tech would probably be the sense of community that's there in theater, just feeling like I'm working and putting a lot of my time and passion into a thing, especially when I'm doing it with friends. Other people should join tech because, well, we always need the extra hands, and because it's a fun process. There's a lot to learn, a lot to master, a lot to do, and even though it takes up a lot of time, it's always fun. Tech has always been a fun thing. It's something I'm looking forward to. And you'll get to learn, you get to meet a bunch of like-minded people and spend time with and work with a lot of cool people. So tech meets every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday after school, and it ends at 4. We have a fall show coming out in about a month or so. It's Clue, based on the movie, and in February we'll be doing a musical, and that's The Wizard of Oz.
A lot more goes into these productions than we ever really see.
Next, we hear from Grace Lumley in her weekly segment, Movies in a Minute. She'll be talking about the newly released movie, It, Chapter 2.
Hi, I'm Grace Lumley, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of Movies in a Minute. This week we're reviewing It, Chapter 2. It Chapter 2 follows the Losers Club 27 years after the first film takes place. People begin to go missing in the so-called quiet town of Derry, Maine, and Mike Hanlon begins to grow suspicious of Pennywise's return. In attempts to defeat It for the final time, Mike reunites the team back to their hometown. Through chaos, fear, love, and the power of friendship, Bill, Bev, Stan, Richie, Eddie, Mike, and Ben attempt to defeat Pennywise, aka me. This film received mixed reviews. Some people are disappointed with this sequel because they believe it fell short of the first one, whereas other people are content with how the film ended. Personally, I enjoyed the film and aligned with the people who believe that It Chapter 2 was a content ending to the two films. The casting choice was perfect, and the adults almost exactly matched their younger child actor counterparts. To me, this made the film more enjoyable because it felt like you were watching the child actors 27 years in the future. Along with the casting, I loved the writing. Gary Dauberman, the screenwriter, he just did a flawless job and made dialogue that was very relatable and funny and flowed naturally. The cinematography was amazing as well because it had a lot of diverse camera angles and camera movements. Though I enjoyed all those aspects of the film, I was kind of disappointed with the CGI monsters because they didn't look as realistic as they could be. Overall, I really enjoyed It Chapter 2 as a conclusion to the two-film narrative. I would rate It Chapter 2 3.5 Blue Devils out of 5. If you like horror films or Stephen King novels, I would definitely recommend this film to you. I'm Grace Lumley with Movies in a Minute, and remember...
You'll flow too, 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 you'll flow too.
Wow, you will not catch me anywhere near that movie.
Me neither, I can tell you that. Moving forward, we all know the great Post Malone and his epic albums, and our very own Neil Ray has given his own personal review in this week's Music in a Minute.
Come on. Welcome to Movies in a Minute. I'm Grace Lumley. Music in a movie. Welcome to Tables in a Minute. Where was I? Music in my microphone. And today I'm going to be talking about Post Malone's new album, Hollywood's Bleeding. The intro track, self-titled Hollywood Bleeding. Pretty good. Dark, mysterious. Kind of comes in with like a super flowing kind of melody. It's like super mysterious. Like I said, you don't really know what's going on. And then comes in with a sweet beat switch. Comes in, he kind of starts doing a little rap singing thing. It's pretty dope, not gonna lie. Love the intro track, very good. A lot of great features on this album. We got some Future, we got some Lil Baby, we got some SZA, SZA, what is it? SZA? Season? We got The Season by Anderson .Paak featured on the album. We got Travis Scott, we got Ozzy Osbourne. Some crazy collabs there.
Track.
That was a great track. Ozzy and Travis is ridiculous. Who would have thought that we would have got an Ozzy, Post, and Travis track?
6.5 hours later.
You know what I mean? Like when you don't know you need something, and then that thing happens, and you're like, wow, I needed that. And also Chad Smith's playing drums on that, the drummer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and he's just a beast. He's a monster. And it's just like, Post was like, yo, I'm gonna make a song.
72 hours later.
Me and Post are good friends. Another one of my favorites is Enemies with DaBaby. I'm personally a big DaBaby fan, and I like Post's part a lot, but also it's very simple, just very surface value, and I feel like that's a lot of what Beer Bongs and Bentleys was. A lot of hooks that will catch people's attention, but not a lot of depth. But this album I definitely like a lot better. A lot of the songs are, more well-rounded. Staring at the Sun, unreal. SZA, Popped Off, unreal. Die For Me, which is one of the deeper songs on the album, and also one of the catchier ones, which I love. It's got some Future, we got some Halsey. Now, don't get me wrong, can't really understand much of what Future says, but that's kind of his whole shtick, so I'm cool with it, and it's catchy, so it's chill. And On the Road with Meek Mill and Lil Baby is an absolute banger, not gonna lie. I like Meek, I like Baby, and obviously Post is great on it. Very good collaboration between these three guys. I feel like Meek is very strong, and sometimes features can distract from him, but he fits into the features. They fit in together very well. I like it a lot. All right, gang, that was my review of Hollywood's Bleeding, Austin Post's new album. From Music in a Minute, Neil Ray. Thanks for tuning in. Is she cute? No. I don't know her.
Post Malone has done it again with another amazing album, and clearly Neil agrees.
While we are on the subject of music, this next segment is about musicians and their crazy lifestyles.
This is Tritone, a show where we go over 3 alternative rock-related news stories and see what people who don't know anything about the scene think about it in 3 minutes or less. Let's Go. Tyler Joseph, half of the 21 Pilots duo, announced his wife Jenna Joseph's pregnancy at Lollapalooza. Fans online are very excited. Let's see what some students think about it.
That's awesome. It's, good for him. He has his own life and he deserves to have that time and to be able to have a family.
I mean, it's their lives. If they want to share that with us, I mean, it's on them, but I mean, I would say I like some of their music. I mean, I'm happy for him if he's happy about that, and it doesn't affect me because if I'm not gonna know the child, so it seems like a good decision on his part if he wants to share that, and if he doesn't, if he want to keep that to himself, that's on him.
I feel like that's a really cool announcement that most bands don't usually do something along those lines. I actually had no idea until you just told me that, though. So following a bunch of music, I've never heard of that happening, so I think it's something cool and new.
Sleeping with Sirens just dropped their 6th studio record, How It Feels to Be Lost, with singles Leave It All Behind and Agree to Disagree providing really nice visuals along with their correlating music videos. The album offers some great vocals to remember as well as catchy guitar riffs. We decided to show the album cover to some willing students and ask them, what do you think this album sounds like?
My first initial word that came was oof.
I'm not sure, considering I want to say it, poppy.
I think it probably represents, they always have had very unique music, something that most other bands don't, other bands try to strive after.
It's very they're emotional, they're sad. That's just what I picture, one of those albums where they show their sad side of themselves because it could be in a dark time, dark place.
Last but definitely not least, Ben from As It Is has departed from the band. He posted, "Dear friends and fans, I have made the difficult decision to step away from As It Is. Before anything else, I would like to thank the other 4 boys and their support and understanding of my decision. They are still my brothers, best friends, and I will cherish always the memories we made together." The band has also announced a tour in the UK and Europe as a farewell tour for Ben. Best wishes to him. The music recommendation for this week is Leave It All Behind by Sleeping with Sirens. Give it a listen. Well, that wraps up this episode of Tritone. Come back next week for some more news and fresh perspectives.
What a life to be living.
Speaking of rock stars, the varsity football team has had a bit of a curveball thrown at them when Bree decided to get the inside scoop on what's going on down at the field.
Hey guys, as you can see behind me, the Grant Field is currently under construction, but that is not stopping our boys from working hard towards their goal of state champs. While the team is displaced, playing all of their home games in Haverhill, that doesn't stop us from traveling and showing our Salem pride. We decided to talk to the team managers, Olivia and Aubrey, and the varsity cheerleading captain, Casey Grasso, to get their intake on this year's season. Hut, hut!
Go get in and work, let's go! Well, they started mid-August, and they were here 8:30 to 11:30, and then came back at 3:30 to 5:30, double sessions for 2 weeks.
I remember cheering for them since I was very young, with the Rams.
During school, they have it 6 days a week, including games for practice. It's a lot of work.
They work very hard. They practice literally 7 days a week.
They hustle.
The beginning of the season was tough for them, but it gets easier and easier every practice.
Every practice for 20 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes they do circuits and they condition and stuff.
From the beginning of the season to now, you can tell how hard they've been working and how hard it's paid off. The Central game that they played last week, they did amazing, and now at practice they're doing very well. They're working hard. They're doing a lot of running, and it's paying off for them.
I love cheering at them. They're so much fun to watch the boys play. They're really entertaining.
Good luck the rest of the season.
Win the championship. At least make it there.
That's all what we have here for this week, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I'm Bree Paquette.
And I'm Neil Ray. You stay classy, Salem High.